So we're here in Melbourne, Victoria, and I'm about to meet with my mate Rex. Rex and I have got a bit of a checkered history. He's a kitchen designer. I'm an architect. He thinks he knows everything about design, and I'm pretty sure that I've got a bit of a greater understanding. We're going to go through a bunch of different strategies and different projects for Rex to try and prove to me that he really knows about design. So you're going to show me a kitchen later, Rex.
Yes.
But first I want to see your intent behind the design. So you've pulled the plans out for me.
Yep.
You can draw plans, I'll give you that, but I'm not sure if you're much of a designer. Talk me through the design for this kitchen.
Well, this is a 50, 60-year-old building in Surrey Hills. Young family, 2 adults, 2 children, wanted to have a nice modern home. Bought an old property in a great area. We've gutted 4 or 5 rooms, turned into a large area so that we can cook and we can entertain and we can talk to people, and the layout of the kitchen tends to sort of show that.
Now, you've brought a little bit of Beyonce into this, mate. She's a bit curvilicious. I feel that that's a bit 90s. What's your justification of bringing all these curves into the kitchen?
Well, I would actually disagree with you, Sam, because I think rectilinear design was very big through the early part of this century. Very sad to say that, isn't it? Now we're already into a new century. And I think
it would have happened to you a couple of times, wouldn't it, Rex?
Thanks very much. What we are looking at today is that architecture generally, and in interior design it's the same thing, is going back to more organic forms, softer, free-flowing forms. And we can see that in a lot of the buildings that are being designed and built around the city today. It's about softness.
So here we are, Rex, the first kitchen. You haven't quite convinced me yet. Like we talked about back in the showroom, traditionally with the kitchen is you have the big floating island bench and you have all your prep area at the back. Now this is very different where we've got this big floating island bench, but we've got a pantry at the back.
Well, basically the reason for that was, if you think about this house and the way we've done it, we have 2 cooks. Both the husband and the wife like to cook. We've got a preparation area that can be there, can also be here. We've got tall elements along here. Normally in a galley kitchen you have a tall element maybe at either end as a frame, bench in between, hot plate over there. Cooks like to be able to face their guests or the family when they're cooking. That's why the hot plate is here. That's made it a bit bigger than maybe normal. And I think it's rather nice because if I'm preparing here, I've got my fridge and freezer there. But essentially it's about having the access to everything right there where you're working.
And you said back in the showroom that the whole kitchen was inspired by Beyonce because it's all about curves. We're in 2019 now.
Yes.
And you know the curves were a very 90s thing.
Yeah,
so how have you achieved? What materials have you
Corian.
used?
Corian is known as a solid surface stone. Its great attribute, one of its great attributes, is the fact that within reason you can bend it. This curve is made up of 3 pieces, not one great big piece. But the other thing about solid surface stone Corian is the fact we can weld any joins out, so the joins simply disappear.
So this is it, Rex. End of episode 1. I'm going to give you 1 point, but I've got 3 more to go. Next week, we're going to have a chat about finishes in the kitchen.
Yes. We have a lovely kitchen we're going to look at next week. It's actually simply a black and white kitchen, but it looks sensational. You'll be impressed.